Hey everyone's Jackal Wolf coming at you with another Skyfactory Survivor series. Now this is a little bit of a fail video for me. I recorded the last 5 episodes all together back to back, and when I went to edit them I discovered that I was a big dum-dum and I did not actually turn on my audio. My microphone was off and I have got no vocal audio for the last 5 episodes. So I thought I'd give at least this one here a shot at doing a voiceover and just see if I can't make a better video out of it, or at least a half decent video. So if you're not familiar, the Skyfactory Survivor Series challenge for the month of January is the Reverse Q*bert Petting Zoo. By Reverse Q*bert, I mean we have the regular Q*bert platforms and we have flipped them upside down, mostly for convenience sake, simply because it is probably easier to build from the bottom point up to the top rather than the top down to the bottom. So especially in Skyfactory 3. So now I'm trying to remember what I was working on here, because like I said, I've already finished the series. So a lot of this is going to be a little bit of a memory of what I was trying to do. I think I needed more wood, and actually I think it was in this episode that I went and I made my tree farm. A couple of people suggested it from some of the other videos. I'd already recorded it. But it was a very, very good suggestion to kind of move my wood production and my leaf production and that inside, the Q*bert pyramid, rather than leave it on the edge where I've just kept losing stuff over and over and over again. So I do that this episode. Now, I can't remember, I didn't really go into talking about the petting zoo portion of this. Now, this is something I've got to be so many blocks away before any mobs will spawn, passive or hostile. I believe it is the 25 block radius, and actually I know for a fact it is 25 blocks, because again, I have finished this series and I did manage to get out far enough for that, but we will get into that now. Right now we are just going to be talking about what I am doing here. So I'm just putting some leaves in the compost bins. I'm probably going to cover over my face cam. I don't know. I had to decide whether I'm going to leave my face cam in or not, but you can see I just adjusted the volume. That's because Creative Kitty was probably on here, and for some reason she likes to turn the volume all the way down or off, and then I come in and I suddenly realize I'm not halfway through a video, but a minute or two into a video, and I just have no volume whatsoever. So what I think I'm doing here is trying to figure out where I'm going to place that tree farm, and I think I decide it's going to be part of this next platform here. Yeah, no, here we go. And that's actually, I probably wanted more wood, but one of the other rules, and I mentioned it quite a few times before in some of the other episodes, is that I am not allowed to build up vertically before I complete all the cubes horizontally. And speaking of cubes, one thing I did mention in when I was doing this, I remember here, I totally did something I was not wanting to do right here. Like I do this little checker pattern, but nobody picked up on it. But when I was editing and throwing up that little Q*bert triangle, the Rohillian tiles, I noticed that the Rohillian tiles are not perfect cubes. They're more rectangular cubes, and I probably shouldn't have been building these platforms 5 by 5 by 5. I probably should have built them like 5 by 5 by 3, which would have made moving around a little bit easier, but I had already started the 5 by 5 by 5 at this point, and it was just made more sense to do it to keep doing it the way that I was doing it. So yeah, for some reason I was thinking, I'll do a checkerboard pattern here with the tree farm, but then I know at some point in the future I'm like, wait a minute, that's dumb. I want to be able to vein mine all the wood, and it's just be easier if they're all together. And I think this is me realizing what I've done right now. Oh no, I'm making some planks to go across the top, just so I don't fall off the edge. Well, there's a good chance I could still potentially fall off the edge, but I think what's most frustrating with losing the audio is that I've lost it for 5 episodes, and I debated, whether I was just going to throw the rest of the series in the garbage, or if I was going to do a speed run for the last 5 episodes and do a voiceover on that, or if I was maybe just going to leave the music playing in the background and run my little pop-up guys. I don't know. But I figured at least for this one here, I'm going to try to do a full... Yeah, here I am realizing that I was a big dum-dum, and that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to make this a proper, I don't know what you call it, tree farm, regardless. I'm going to move all that stuff there. It's certainly not the first time I've ever done something and then looked at it and said, yeah, I got to do something different. It is kind of interesting because I've got my soundtrack playing in the background while I am watching this, doing the voiceover, and it's interesting doing the voiceover while I am hearing the music that's going to accompany it. It's kind of fun, kind of interesting. Yeah, actually, I don't know. So far, this is going pretty good. We are about 6 minutes into the video. I will see how quickly my voice gives out. I don't know. It's a different watching something rather than doing it and talking about it at the same time. It's different challenges, I guess. Don't want to give too much away, but at the same time, I don't. And I just fell. I do that quite a few times this series, where I try to stay on the ladder and I just go and break my ankles. Trying to think what else I end up doing this episode. I think this was a lot of getting wood, and I probably do lose some over the edge until I get a little bit more wood to, do up the wall properly in the next platforms. But oh yeah, I'm making some more shears. That's what I'm doing. I was like, hey, I'll do 7. No. I need an even number of planks to make an even number of shears. Or not an even number of shears to make shears, because it's divided by 2 there. So I remember standing here being afraid that a tree was going to grow while I was standing on top of it, which would have been potentially very deadly. So get all these leaves, and let's see. Oh yeah, there was a single one that almost made it over the edge there. So far my plan is working. I don't think I've lost that much. But I think it was a pretty obvious after the last episode where I'm editing it and I'm watching the stuff go off the edge, and I'm like, well, I just gotta move stuff. Like, I don't know what I am doing. Like, it doesn't make any sense to do it this way. And then as people were watching the video, they were all commenting the same thing. It's like, well, why don't you just move it inside? And it's like, oh, okay. That is what I've already kind of done, but because I had already recorded this before, I posted. I was probably episode 2 by the time I recorded the rest of this, because recording 9 episodes all back to back takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I think I just needed a break. So we are going to be getting pretty close yet. We're coming up on the 10-minute mark. I can see the nights coming up. And trying to think what I was doing next after this. I got a lot of wood. I got a feeling I spend most of the time working on the rest of the platforms, the rest of the blocks. So that's the second time I've kind of gone down there, and I'm like, why don't I try to go hit that water instead of trying to go down that ladder? But I'm pretty sure I never actually do that in the episode. So I'm blah blah blahing here about something. I don't know what it is. Should almost be trying to read my lips here as I'm watching, but yeah, I got no clue what I'm going on about. Probably talking about I'm probably talking about the distance, because I am at that point 5, 10. Yeah, I'm only 10 blocks away, because I'm not counting the bottom one, because the bottom one is only like, I guess, half. So for convenience sake, to make sure I got my 25 away, I was wasn't counting the bottom platform, just to make sure I was far enough away to get some spawns. So I still don't know. I don't know what I'm going on about now, but we'll see what I do, and that might give me a hint as to what we're doing. Oh, we're making some planks. We're gonna go do our thing on do our building thing now. And it is an interesting, like, I've never built like this. Like, I guess with the challenge, it's oh, and I broke my ankles. I use a lot of ladders in this particular challenge for sure. Like, it wasn't a super difficult build. I probably could have made it more challenging by making me, use different materials for each, different platform or whatever. But I think so far I like it. It was challenging enough, and not architecturally enough, but it was a good build challenge. Next month, if Skyfactory 4 isn't out by that point, I've got a pretty good idea on what I want to do for the next challenge. I've got a feeling it's going to be maybe a no block challenge. So I can't put down just like raw planks or slabs. I've got to put down what's the best way to think about it? Like, I've got to put down crafted items. So like crafting tables and the barrels and stuff like that. And I think that's where it's going to get really challenging, is coming up with my rules for what I can and can't place down, because it doesn't make sense to just allow myself to place down a million crafting tables. I got to have some sort of rule as to how many crafting tables can I put in a certain radius, right? Because crafting table is easy, it's just 4 planks. It's going to be a material, a resource heavy build. But I don't want to make it so that all I do is, or everybody, because again, these challenges are open to everyone that, is interested in participating in them. I would be really excited if somebody else, gave this one a shot as well, just to kind of see how other people play the game. It does require a little bit of knowledge of the Skyfactory mod pack, although I guess any of the the Feed the Beast mod packs, there's a lot of similarity between them. I do know that I've been caught off guard. Oh, and I missed that one. I remember that, and I got stuck in the block here, and then I had to go fix that. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities, between the mod packs, but there's enough of a difference that it's I don't know. It catches me off guard sometimes. Where I think like, oh, hey, I should know how to do that, and I just absolutely I don't know what I'm doing whatsoever, or it doesn't work quite the way that I think it should. Just replanting those crops, because I'm going to need the wheat and the carrots for some feed later on, not feed, bait, so I can get a better chance of spawning in animals that I'm looking for, rather than wait for natural spawns, which is another way of doing it. It's just handy to be able to, get the animal that you're looking for. So I know at this point I was still wondering if the 5x5 platform was going to be big enough to spawn animals in, but I don't know, we'll get to that later on. We're not even close there. I've got a couple more layers that I've got to build up before I'm even far enough away to think about spawning animals or mobs or anything like that. So, because I think this is what, 15? I think this is 15 blocks away. So yeah, I've got another 2 platforms to build up before I've got far enough away to actually spawn anything. So yeah, I'm just going to start on the walls now. Again, I got to work sort of vertically before I start. Sorry, horizontally before I start working vertically. Down to about 4 minutes. I'm looking on my timer. I do know one of these episodes ran a little over, but not by much. It was only by like 2 or 3 minutes, I think. I got a feeling it was the 6th episode. This is episode 5. I don't know. Let me know what you think about the voiceover option. I'm debating, whether it makes more sense to do it or to do like a speed run. But then the whole point is this is a challenge that's got a certain set number of episodes, and if I do the speed run, I don't know. It's a tough call. It's definitely a tough call. We'll have to see. Well, once I actually sit down and edit this properly with this audio included, we'll see what we'll see how it turns out. I'm not too sure. Oh, and I am out of full blocks already. It is a very wood heavy challenge for sure. Go plop plop plop. And I gotta go work back because again I make them 5x5x5. Probably could have got away with just doing the 5x3 or 5x5x3. Yeah, I am out of wood. I think I was out of wood. No, I got some half slabs right there. Look at that. I think that's the exact conversation I had while I was at that point where I was like, oh, I don't think I got any wood. It's like, I should have wood. Oh, there we go. There's the wood I have. And I could be saving these leaves, but at the point I still had almost a full row of leaves in my inventory. I got, well, what's that, six stacks of leaves. That's quite a bit of dirt. Dirt does become pretty important a little bit later on, though. Oh, right now my axe broke on the last one, so I've got to make a new one here. Just continue along. I can see it's getting a little bit light, which is good. Yeah, I break this one here, and I can't remember if I go after a lot of this wood now or if I leave it until next episode. But yeah, it looks like again I'm going after it. I know I'm low on wood anyways, so it kind of makes sense that. Oh, right. My axe broke again. It was such a big tree. It took pretty much a full axe to work itself out. So luckily I had the sticks ready and plopped down a couple of planks. And the tree grew right in front of me just as I remember that. I remember like, oh, seriously, you're kidding me, right? So I got that, and I do remember being a little concerned about the leaves breaking on me, and then I was trapped in a leaf as well because that tree grew right while I was standing. There we go. All right, so I think I figure out that it is a daytime here. I'm just waiting to try to do the outro in time with my real life, or maybe I actually thought that. Maybe this is the one that ran over. I'm still talking. I'm not really looking. not really looking. You know what? This must be the one that ran over, unless my next episode ran over as well. Maybe I'm just trying to finish off the wall. It doesn't make sense. I could have easily. I'm pretty sure this is the one that ran over. For some reason, I was thinking it was the second episode of the day, which would have been episode 6, but I guess it is episode 5. That's going to be 5, 10, 15, and then we are now working on 20. But I am really, really hoping, and my actual music things come over top, so I don't know if I am doing this right or not. I might have to cut back here. I'm kind of watching it sort of pre-edited, expecting them to fit my mold pretty good, but no, I am still actually working at this. So basically what happened there is my overlay for my end card came up, and I'm hoping I didn't go over here. Oh yeah, here we go. There, I discovered the time. It is 8:36. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please think about leaving a like and a subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter @JackalWolf, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.